Hello girls, this video is made especially for you, so that you will feel confident at the moment of setting up a Shiva. Here you will find a step-by-step guide ensuring that you have peace of mind, that no detail is left behind.
It all begins with a phone call. We're contacted either by friends or family or a rabbi calling on behalf of the mourner. That call is received to our main Shiranit phone line, and we have several volunteers that are in charge of picking up that phone call as it comes in. So those volunteers, once that call comes in, are in charge of asking a series of questions that are going to ensure that we can best serve the mourners that are asking for our help. Some of the questions we'll ask are, where will the Shiva be located? How many mourners will there be? Are they Ashkenazi or Sephardic? Do they speak English or Spanish? Are there many mirrors in the home so we can establish how many volunteers to send out? We try to get a large window of time where our volunteers can go set up the Shiva, just to make sure that we can get as many people as we can to help us. And then last but not least, we find out who the contact person is going to be. And that's really important because that'll be the person that we contact in case we have any questions throughout the Shiva process. So once those questions have been asked, we then reach out to the rest of the volunteers to gather a group that's going to be specifically designated to take care of that Shiva and those mourners. That group of volunteers will divide itself. There's going to be one person that'll be the lead of the group. That lead will be the person that everyone goes to for questions. Then there will be two people that will go to the storage to pick up all the items required for the Shiva. If it's a large Shiva, maybe 3 people can join them at the storage. One person is in charge with going to the supermarket. The supermarket is important because we bring eggs and round bread for the mourners. They're in charge of buying 1 bread and 1 egg for each of the mourners that's sitting. Everything we purchase has to be kosher and parv and pre-packaged. Then once all the volunteers have done what they need to do, they all gather together at the lobby of the building or at the entrance of the home and prepare to enter together to set up the Shiva. So what is a lead and what is a volunteer? And the lead is going to be the one person that's going to be in charge of keeping order around the Shiva. Once you arrive at the home, the lead will be the only person that enters the home at first. They'll be the ones that look around, that decide where the seating is going to be set up, where the tables will be set up, and they will be the ones that are going to contact and speak to whoever's in the home. The leads will then come outside, let the volunteers know what the plan of action is. And once entering the home, it's very important that the lead be the one person that all questions are referred to. So as the Shiva is being set up, if volunteers have any questions, please be sure to approach your lead and quietly ask them. If anyone asks questions of you, also, please go ahead and refer to your lead and ask them. You'll recognize the lead because she will be the one wearing this sticker, and volunteers will wear these.
We followed a list when we were at the storage. Now that we're at the house, we would like to divide the task into 4 main things to do. The first one is to cover the mirrors. The second one would be to set up the low seating. The third one would be to set up the prayer table. And the fourth one will be the table where we set up the food for the berahots. As the lead comes in and takes a look into the home, she'll come out and she will designate to the group each of these areas. If you have been selected to cover the mirrors, remember to walk through the house to make sure you have pinpointed where every one of the mirrors are. And once you are covering the mirrors, make sure that you cover the whole entirety of the mirror. You cover the corners, you cover the full length of it. We come in with measuring tapes so that it will make your job easier to cut the paper, to apply it onto the mirror. You're gonna have blue painter's tape and you're gonna have scissors with you as well. If you are designated to set up the low seating, the lead would have shown you where that low seating would go. If you're moving furniture, remember to take a photograph of what you are moving prior to doing so that when we come back to pick up the Shiva, we can leave the house identically as we found it. If you are setting up the prayer table, the lead will show you where that will happen. On that table, you are going to set up the Sidurim, the Tehillim, the Kippots. You're going to put the Tzedakah box. And also there, you're going to include the pamphlets with the information and the business cards from Shiranit. If you're setting up the table with the foods and berahots, you're going to lay out each one of the foods be it the candy, the chips, the raisins, the olives, the pickles, the water. From the storage in the list, you will bring a set of stickers. These stickers will label what the food is. The stickers say mezonot, haetz, hadama, and shehakol. On the poster board, you will be able to follow what food goes with what label. Make sure to read the fine print and attach the stickers to the correct food. There is a picture and there is lettering that will guide you through this process. Next to those foods, you will leave the smaller berahot board, and you will find a place close to the kitchen or close to that food table where you will hang the bigger poster. You will ask a family member to spell the deceased name for you to add it onto these posters, so that when the families or guests are there and wish to perform the blessing, they know in the memory of who they are doing it for. Before you leave the house, remember that also from storage, you brought a release of liability and a letter for the mourners. It should have been attached, the letter and then 2 releases. The last page of the release is the one the family will sign for you. Make sure you do not leave the home without that paper being signed. And then you will leave for the family the letter attached to a copy of the release of liability that has not been signed for their records. One of the volunteers were assigned to go to the supermarket and get the egg and challah. You will leave that in the kitchen for the family to find once they arrive from the burial.
So welcome volunteers, now we are at storage. So this part of the video is to explain to you exactly how to pick up the items that we'll be taking to the Shiva. So as you can see, our storage has all of the cushions on one side, and then on the opposite side, we have all the items we'll be taking. I'm gonna take you through each part, okay? So when you come to storage, the first and most important thing that you need to do is come over here to where we have 3 papers. These are really important for us to be able to make sure that we are serving Shivas to the best of our abilities. The one that I'm gonna ask you to pick up first is the one that says storage log. So the storage log is vital because it helps us know what families we've been serving, but it also makes us stay on track, that we set up Shivas, we pick up Shivas, and everything is documented. So in this document, you're going to have filling out here the family's name of who we're serving. You're gonna write down who our contact info is. You're gonna write down how many mourners we're serving in that particular Shiva. You're gonna write down the neighborhood, who we're referred by, who the rabbi is or the community. And then, if you're setting up the Shiva, you're gonna fill out the section that says setup. In that section, you'll fill out the date, what your name is if you're the lead, and who the volunteers are that are here with you. Once you come to deliver the items back after the Shiva has finished, you'll fill out the second column. We'll stick to the first one just for today. So after you've done that, we're gonna ask you to pick up the next list. The next list is titled Supplies to Take to Shiva. So we've created this to make it as easy and automatic as possible to set up a Shiva. So what we want you to do is literally grab one of the pens that you'll find here and fill out one by one the items that we're asking you to take, okay? So let me take you through those now. So the first thing we're gonna be told to take is the manila paper. You'll find the manila paper up top, and everything is marked for you, so it's very clear. So the manila paper is used to cover the mirrors, as you saw in the other part of our video, and we cover mirrors because we want to make sure that mourners are able to really focus on their spiritual life during that week and not have to pay attention to the physical. The next thing up are the seats. The low seats you'll find over here. We take as many low seats as you have mourners. So if we're serving 2 mourners, we take 2 low seats and 2 back pillows. 5 mourners, 5 low seats. So these are the low seats. And this is what the back pillows look like, just so you can envision it. And when we set up, we put these 2 together. So after that, we're gonna come over to this side. So we have the hot water urn, which you'll find down here. That's part of the foods that we take. I'll show you those in a moment. We come back here and we have Tehillim trays. So we have these trays divided between not red and red. And then within it is a set of Tehillim. So here's a few things that are important. When you take this to the home, please be sure, number 1, to take it in the language that you're serving. So if you're serving a family that speaks English, take the ones that are written out in English. And secondly, make sure that the set of Tehillim is also in the language that you're serving and that the set is complete. It's 28 books. Please be sure that every single one of those books is there when you take them and when you bring them back. If you don't find Tehillim, the set of Tehillim within the tray, we have extra Tehillim for you in the boxes below. They're divided. Here are the English Tehillim and here are the Spanish Tehillim. All right, so after that, we have all the food section, all right? We have candies, we have cookies, we have all kinds of things, raisins. The way that we decided on what we're gonna be taking to the Shiva is we wanna provide 2 items for each of the food prayers that are said. So 2 items for Hayetz, 2 items for Hadama, 2 items for Shehakol, and 2 items for Mezonot. And this allows the family members and the mourners to say as many prayers as possible for the soul of the one that has departed. So along with the food, we also bring a couple of items just to make it easier for mourners and visitors to know which prayers to say with which foods. So one of those is the stickers. We bring these stickers, and when we're setting up the table, you'll find that, let's say we put a bowl with potato chips. In that bowl, we're gonna stick the sticker that says Ha'adama, just to make it easier for the mourners to know this is what relates to Hadama, these are the items that are Mezonot, and so on. Aside from the stickers, we also have these foam boards. We have a larger version and a table version. This is the table version, and the foam board says what each of the prayers are, along with examples for food items that fit with each of the prayers that are said. At the top, we're going to write the name in Hebrew of the person that passed away. All right, so when we go to the home, we set this up on the table along with the foods. So we're going to bring a set of plates so that people can serve themselves. We're going to bring a set of utensils so people can eat. And we're also going to bring serving plates for each of the kinds of food that we bring. And again, we make it very, very simple so that you know exactly how many of each of the items, how many large bowls, how many mediums, etc. We're also going to bring these trays that are called trays for mourners. When we set up the seats, we put these trays on top. When the mourners are fed food, where they're brought food, this is where people serve them. So they don't have to do the work of serving themselves their own food. We also bring other religious items. So we bring the 7-day candle that the family lights when they return home from the cemetery. We make it either a 9-day candle or a 7-day candle just to ensure that it lasts the full Shiva. Okay. We also bring matches to make it easy for them to light the candles. Again, our mission is really to just make their lives as easy as we possibly can in this impossible time. Okay. So aside from that, we also bring sidurim. This section is where our sidurs are located. You'll see that we serve 4 different communities, basically, right? Ashkenazi in Spanish, Ashkenazi in English, Sephardic in Spanish, Sephardic in English, and all that is marked for you. So if you're serving a Sephardic English Shiva, you're going to look for the sidurs that are marked Sephardic and English. Okay, so we also provide tzedakah boxes. So the tzedakah boxes we bring, again, to enable visitors and family to be able to do yet one more mitzvah for the person who has passed away. And the way we bring our tzedakah box, it has 2 parts, the box, and then up top where it explains who we are and how to contact us if anyone were ever to need us. So you'll see on the list, another one of the items that it says to bring is releases of liability. So we bring 2 releases of liability and we staple them together with a letter to the mourner. So we have letters to mourner in Spanish and in English. Pick the one that's for the Shiva you're serving. If it's an English-speaking family, obviously an English form. And then we staple the 3 together. When we arrive at the home, we ask whoever's there to receive us to please sign the back form of the release of liability. And then we're going to take this back with us and bring it to storage just to keep it in our files and in our records. So another thing we provide are these boards, and we place these behind the mourners where they're sitting in their low seats so that as people say goodbye to them, they know what is customary to say. So we have 2 types of boards. We have Sephardic boards, which is this one, and we have an Ashkenazi one. So make sure to bring the one that's appropriate for the family you're serving. So most of our papers are on this side of the storage. I'm going to take you through those for a moment, okay? So it's very important that you bring these stickers. These are lead and volunteer stickers. This one only says volunteer. So when you come to the storage, please make sure that all the volunteers put these stickers on their shirts and that the lead places the sticker on their shirt. And this makes it easier for everyone to know who to go to for questions as you're setting up the Shiva. So the other paper that's vital to take are the Kaddish cards. And this is a really important part of the Shiva. We have 4 types of Kaddish cards, much like our Sidurs. We have Kaddish cards in Spanish that are Sephardic, in Spanish that are Ashkenaz, and then English Sephardic and English Ashkenaz. Please be sure that as you pick these up, we take 1 per mourner. If there's 5 mourners, 5 Kaddish cards. Make sure you're taking the right one for the family that you're serving, okay? Aside from that, we're gonna ask you to also grab this paper over here that is the pickup list. So when you take the items to the Shiva house, you're gonna take 2 different things to carry everything in. The first is you're gonna take this bag to carry the sidurs in. It makes it much easier so that you're not carrying the heavy weight. And you take one of our acrylic boxes. Inside our acrylic box, you place all of the items that fit along with this list. So this list is really important because you may be setting up the Shiva, but you might not be picking it up. And this makes it easier for whoever picks it up to know exactly what they're looking for. So on this list, as you place items in the box, please mark off how many of each item you are taking to the Shiva. So for instance, if you're taking 4 back pillows, you'll write it down there. That way whoever picks up knows how many they're picking up. If you take 2 foam boards, make sure to write that down. If you take 2 of the boards to say goodbye to mourners, write that down. That way is when people go to pick up the Shiva, it's easy to just go item after item, picking up, easy peasy. So the few last things that we're taking are kippot, so that as the men walk in, they can cover their heads if they so wish to do. This book is one of the latest items that we've added to those things that we provide to be able to serve families a little bit better. So this book was created by us to really make it simple to understand what to expect from the Shiva, the Shloshim, and the year of mourning for the mourners. This book is in English and in Spanish, and it also contains a second part in the back that's dedicated to visitors, helping visitors know what's the best things to say, what are the best things to avoid saying. We bring 1 per mourner as well, and we place them on their low seats for them to have this information. And then lastly, be sure to bring the things that'll help you set up the Shiva easier. These are also on the list. And those are our expo markers, so we can write down the names on the board, and I'll show you that in a moment. Our scissors, our measuring tapes, our blue tapes to be able to paste everything to the walls. So lastly, we spoke about the smaller board, and this is a larger version of our food board with the berachot. So when you paste this on the wall, you can write down the name of the person that passed away in Hebrew, and this makes it easier for people to know what blessings to say. So we've picked up all the items to take them to the Shiva, you've set up the home, and now we're picking up the Shiva and bringing items back to storage. So the day that you've set up the Shiva, you only have to bring up a couple of items back to the storage. We ask you to bring back the manila paper, because we don't have many of those, and we use them at every Shiva. And we ask you to bring back the trolley as well. That's where we carry all our cushions. So those 2 items you bring back to storage after you set up a Shiva. Everything else is going to stay in the apartment or in the home. So the box stays in the home, and the trolley for the sidurim stays in the home. When you go pick up a Shiva, you arrive, you grab the backpack for the sidurim, you grab the box has the list, you pick up each of the items as you see them on the list, you bring everything back to storage. After you've returned everything here, please be sure to put everything back into its place. And then we're gonna come back to this list that we mentioned at the very beginning, the storage log. You're gonna fill out, as you're picking up the Shiva, you're gonna write down what date the Shiva was picked up. You're gonna fill out the part of who the lead was and who the volunteers were. And you're gonna place this in the appropriate folder. We have a couple of folders over here. Look for the one that says storage log, put that in there so we can keep it for our records. Lastly, we ask you to please, when you return items, if you see that we're running low on anything, we're a family, we're counting on each other, please let us know. And we'll make sure to refill so that we have everything ready to go whenever another family needs us. Thank you again for being here with us. We know that you're giving of your time in watching this video, and we really want to appreciate that and let you know that we're doing this to make sure that everything is as clear as possible for you. If there's questions left, don't hesitate to reach out to us, call us, email us, whatever works for you. We're here to help each other. Thank you for being a part of our family.
This journey of setting up a Shiva is a sacred mission, and it is important for us to go in with the mindfulness and the presence of utmost respect for the family that we are serving. Let's remember that each action and step along the way is an expression of our love and respect for the departed one. Let's try to keep our chatter and conversations to Shiva-related questions only. If anything comes up, feel free to head over to the lead and ask whatever is needed in a quiet and respectful voice. If there are mourners in the house, please allow them to set the tone. Unless they approach you, please give them their space. As you conclude the Shiva, if there are any questions, comments, feelings, emotions that come up, please don't hesitate to reach out to the lead.
Dear volunteers, we want to express our deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for your support and commitment. Your tireless effort and selfless dedication have not gone unnoticed. We are humbled by the tremendous work that you do every day. As members of Shiranit and part of our family, you have helped us in our mission to support those in need. Together, we have helped countless of individuals and families, and we couldn't have done it without you. We're excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. If you are interested in expanding our reach, please let us know. If you know someone that may want to open a new chapter in their city or elsewhere, we're always looking for a way to help even more people. Once again, thank you for your unwavering support and for being part of Shiranit. We're looking forward to continuing our work together.